Good morning. Happy fall. Happy October. If you feel like singing along, please do. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fell. Let me learn from all the ways I fell. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fell. Let me learn from all the ways I fell. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me walk each day a little kinder. Let me walk in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me walk each day a little kinder. Let me walk in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me walk each day a little wiser. Let me walk in a... Oh, let my steps reveal a path of peace. Let my steps reveal a path of peace. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Thank you.
The walk-up music.
always, it's one of my favorite songs too that we hear here, so it'll be stuck in my head all day. I'm so excited about that. Welcome, you all. My name is Rain. I'm your host today, and I'm so happy to welcome you to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us, uplift us, and celebrate our oneness with all of life. A special welcome to anyone joining us for the first time this morning. If anyone's here for the first time and you would like to raise your hand, we have a gift for you. Anyone? And welcome to those of you joining us via YouTube. We're glad you're here with us. And if you're new or not new, please sign up for our newsletter, our weekly newsletter, so you can hear all that is going on at the Oakland Center. Now we will honor our children. Bless our children. If you can say along with me, we honor all our youth and children in our community and the world. We love you. We see you. You are Spirit's gift to us. Thank you for being in our lives. And so it is. I have a few announcements that I will give in a holy, holy way. Still in my head. I love it. Calm, the Compassionate Attention to Loss Ministry, meets today after service starting at 12:30 and on Zoom. Come to be nurtured, supported, and loved. Next Wednesday, October 5th, ministerial student Lucian Baker will share ideas about swimming in the infinite ocean. Meditation is at 6:30 and service at 7 by Zoom. Next Sunday, senior minister candidate Reverend Susan Overland will speak to all of us on Let It Flow, followed by a workshop in the sanctuary from 1:30 to 3 on cultivating the divine heart, an invitation to live in God's love. This is nonprofit partner season, application season. The applications are open until October 14th. If you have a nonprofit you would like to recommend or suggest, you can do that on the website. Look under the About Us tab. In the drop-down menu there, you can submit your recommendation. This is also membership month. If you're ready to take the next step in commitment, make it serious, get real with Oakland Center, you can do that also on the website under the About Us tab. For details about all the upcoming events at Oakland Center, follow us in the Village News, the Thursday Village News, or on the website at Oakland CSL, or go to the welcome table in the courtyard, get some information there. And check out the beautifully designed website. That was out of order, but that's oaklandcsl.org. All right, now please read along with me our vision and mission statement. The vision of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive spiritual community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play. So it is. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for special content you will only see by liking and subscribing. Now I'd like to pass the mic to Anthony, who will come up and share information about our minister search.
The sock thing anymore on the microphone? There's one last one here. Anti-cootie sock. Good morning, I'm Anthony. I'm representing the new minister search committee, and you got a little bit of the announcement that's coming up, so I'm going to give you more details. Our first candidate will be speaking next Sunday, the 9th, as Rain had said. We are excited to welcome her. She will deliver the Sunday service. Her theme is Let It Flow. So Immediately after the service, so this is where, please tune in on this. Immediately after the service, there will be a town hall style Q&A. All are invited. Reverend Susan Overland. I guess I forgot that. I'm sorry. Yeah. I get nervous when I get up here. All right. There will be a lunch, a 1 hour lunch break. Okay, so this is about the workshop, and this is kind of important. This is important, not kind of. After lunch, Reverend Susan will lead a workshop entitled Cultivating the Divine Heart, an Invitation to Live in God's Love. We are asking you to please pre-register for the workshop in advance if possible. I mean, there are people who are not here this Sunday and they're going to register at the last moment, which is fine. It's going to be a long morning. So this will make for a long morning. So lunch is provided for those who attend the workshop. Therefore, it is really helpful to help pre-register so that we know how many lunches to prepare. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to this event with high energy, faith, and encouragement. And I really want to thank all of you and the community at large for the support you've been giving the Ministers Search Committee. We've been together for a year, and just going through this process definitely has had its moments, its ups and downs. But they're here. The candidates are here, and we're going to be getting down to the voting, as in a few weeks. So that's it for now. And now at this point in the service, Robert Leeds is going to come up and talk about Jewish holidays.
Good morning. It's me, Robert Leeds, your friendly neighborhood Jewish Buddhist scientist shaman, here to talk about the Jewish High Holy Days, also known as the Days of Awe, which we are smack in the middle of. Now, this is a very rich topic. We could spend hours discussing it, but I only have a few minutes, so I'm giving you the basics. I'll give you a summary of the meaning of the holidays, talk a little about the symbols and rituals associated with it, and then go into a little more depth on the spiritual meaning. So the basics, the High Holy Days are a 10-day period of time in the fall that signals the beginning of the Jewish New Year. This period is about self-examination, forgiveness, repairing relationships, repentance, self-renewal, and new beginnings. It is also very community-oriented. It's about becoming a better person in part by bettering our relationships. For observant Jews, the entire month before Rosh Hashanah is focused on self-reflection, identifying what needs to be transformed in our lives. Then Rosh Hashanah comes, and that's a 2-day celebration. Rosh Hashanah literally means the head of the year. Then there's a week during which we are to make amends for any transgressions and to make commitments to live a better life, which culminates in Yom Kippur, which is the most solemn and holy day in the Jewish calendar. Yom Kippur is often translated as the Day of Atonement, and you might want to think of atonement as at-one-ment. So it's both joyful and serious. It's both a celebration and a reckoning. So let's talk a minute about symbols and rituals. Yom Kippur is a day of fasting, which is a symbol of seen as an act of purification. Sounding the shofar, the ram's horn, is done many times throughout the High Holy Days. It's not a melodious sound. It's not New Age chill-out music. It's a blaring. It's supposed to wake you up. It says, wake up, pay attention, this is your life. There's a ritual that some Jews observe during the holiday period, which is called Tashlet, which means a casting off. And it's a practice of taking breadcrumbs, representing one's misdeeds or regrets, and casting them into flowing water, a river or an ocean. It's a physical expression of the internal spiritual and emotional work that's being done during this time of year. There's symbolic foods that are eaten. I mean, every culture has its foods. We dip apples in honey for Sweet New Year. We eat a round challah, the egg bread, which represents the circular nature of the year, and pomegranates, the seeds representing abundance and new beginnings. The story of the High Holy Days is that God is judging the world, basically doing an annual performance review on creation. Now, I know people have a lot of judgment about judgment, but let's frame it this way. Think about what judges do. They study and apply the law. They hear evidence and evaluate that. So judging is about evaluating the evidence to make a careful decision. It's about choice. So in this case, God will be making a life or death decision about each one of us based on our actions and our consciousness. The theology on this says that on Rosh Hashanah, God writes everybody's name in either the book of life or the book of death, and then on Yom Kippur, those books get sealed, and that's it, baby. And here's the thing, what you do between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur can influence the outcome, but no pressure. Now, this may sound like not a lot of fun, and you know, it's not supposed to be fun. In fact, there's a book about the High Holy Days by a Rabbi Alan Liu with the wonderful title, This is Real and You Are Completely Unprepared. That about sums it up. Spiritual growth does not come from doing easy things, and we're never really completely ready. It's meant to be a challenge. It's a way of saying step up, and it forces us to engage with the possibility, indeed the inevitability, of our own death. And the point of that is to spur action, to cultivate your spiritual life, to attend to your relationships, to work for justice in the world. You know, like they say in religious science, treat and move your feet. Rosh Hashanah is also called the birthday of the world, not coinciding with the first day of creation, but with the sixth day of creation when God created people. That's intended to emphasize our free will and the fact that we participate in the creation every day when we make a choice about how we want to live in the world. We are, with every choice, creating the present and the future. The idea here is that we use the High Holy Days to set the values and goals that guide our year, and then God gives us the type of year that we ourselves have chosen through our consciousness. I think Ernest Holmes would appreciate that. When held in this way, the High Holy Days are an opportunity to heal the breach of separateness that we have created in our fundamental relationships with ourselves, with God, with other people, and with the world. So let me conclude with my favorite Hebrew prayer that is said not only on Rosh Hashanah, but whenever somebody does something new, say for the first time in a calendar year, or to express gratitude for a joyous occasion. And it's often referred to as the Sheikhianu, and I'm going to teach you this prayer. So I'll give it to you in small bites since I know you're not all fluent in Hebrew. And just repeat after me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Sheikhianu, V'kimanu, V'higianu, Lazman hazeh. Well done, you're all honorary Jews. Now, what did you just say? It translates as, blessed are you, eternal spirit, ruler of all creation, who has given us life, sustained us, and allowed us to reach this season. Lashana Tova, I wish you all a sweet new year. May you be written and sealed in the book of life for a year abundant in love and connection.
Hi, hope everyone's having a good Sunday. We're just going to briefly thank someone who's been in our congregation for a very long time, who is actually moving. Her name is Barbara. She's over here. Wonderful, wonderful woman. I've known her for a very long time. I don't know how long, but a very long time. And she's just always, saying, hi, how are you doing? What's going on with this? And my sister and I, we were into knitting for a very long time. And she gave us a knitting kit that she shared with her sister. And it was really wow, thank you for sharing that with us. So I felt very close to her. And I'm going to miss her. And I just want, us to acknowledge her leaving and that she was here. Okay. Well, man, you can go.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Sanford. You guys don't know me already. So yeah, I've known her for a very long time. It's ever since like 5th grade. I can only go back to like all the way to 5th grade, and we visit her in her home. Me and my dad and my sister were playing piano and singing it to her. We may have been really bad singing, but she took it all in. She took it all in. And then there's another time she helped me with my 5th grade paper, which is, I don't know why I remember it, but I still remember her helping me with my 5th grade paper. It's a really good bond we had, and it was good to know her. And yeah, she will be missed. So it was really good to know you. Not like that. Not like that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause for Barbara for being so amazing.
Mask on, mask off. Here we are. Good morning. My name is Eliza Young, and I am a practitioner here. And, Barbara, it's just been a delight to know you, and I wish you well in your next adventure. I said, Barbara, it's been a delight to know you, and I wish you well on your next adventure, wherever that is. So, I think there might be some cake later on to celebrate. So, what was I saying? Oh, I'm a practitioner here, and I'm here to do the morning readings, and we're going to focus on the qualities that we're calling forth for our next senior minister. We just have a few more times to do this, and we will have our senior minister. So here they are, and you can pick a quality that resonates for you and just focus on that and call it into yourself. You will be calling it into everyone and into our minister. And we also have the covenant in the front pocket of the seats in front of you if you want to read the whole thing that was visioned. And so it is. Wonderful. So our readings that we have for today are from Ernest Holmes and Oprah Winfrey. Swimming in the Infinite Ocean. From Ernest Holmes. God is spirit. Spirit is substance. And substance is supply. This is the keynote to a realization of the more abundant life, to the demonstration of success in financial matters. And from Oprah Winfrey, make no mistake, all of the success, abundance, and peace you desire comes from knowing your spirit deeply and intimately. Go inward first and let the outside fall into place. So I go inside, knowing that the inside and the outside are one and the same, because God is simply everywhere present. There is only one life. That life is God's life, and it is magnificent. It is beautiful. It is right here, right now. In this sanctuary, in sanctuaries everywhere, in mosques and in gatherings where people are calling forth spirit. And I speak my word and know that I am one with this one. And Reverend Jerry is one with this one, our speaker today. all of the words come forth from Spirit through her to bless us. And our musicians are blessed, and all of our tech team who broadcast these messages out to the world, our ushers, everyone involved in this service, and even the congregation bringing their consciousness to this oneness, to this swimming in the infinite ocean. I claim and know this service is already blessed in the mind of God, and it is whole, perfect, and complete, and good. And I'm grateful to know this and release it to the law that says it's done, and so it is.
Rolling river God, little stones are smooth, only once the water passes through. So I am a stone, rough and grainy still, trying to reconcile this river's chill. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be this one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high. Never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you is where I want to stay and feel the sharpest edges wash away. And when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be just this one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Rolling river God, little stones are smooth, only once the water passes through. Ooh, Thank you.
It's okay, because I wanted us to have a little bit of a breath after that beautiful, beautiful piece. Thank you both. Lovely. Kev, Omega. Oh, thank you. Yes, I forgot to put it on earlier, and I'm walking around. Now I forget to take it off. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So good to see you all. Wow, there's a lot going on today, as always, and it's good. We're abundantly blessed here at Oakland Center. And I'm Reverend Jerry Carter. I'm honored to be with you today. Look at you all. Hi, Ziska. Barbara, you are such a light in our community and such a delight and a joy. And I'm looking forward to having some cake and celebrating your new journey that you're going to be on after service. So what a blessing. And Barbara's written a book. I know that book is in our bookstore as well. You might want to indulge yourself. Living Everyday Wonder. I think we're doing that this year. And this is Saturday, October 2nd already. Can you believe that? The first Sunday, not Saturday, Sunday. We are already in October. Wow. And this is a particularly special Sunday because it's the time of year when we start our annual pledge, our conscious giving campaign. And so, yes, it's a very special time of year. So, and wouldn't you know, the title is Finances. So we're going to be talking about finances. Now, that can be very uplifting or sometimes a little difficult, but we're going to make our way through it because it's all good, because this is an abundant universe. Absolutely. There's plenty to share and plenty to spare. And we're going to be delving into a video that's going to really give us a little view of how amazing the solar system is and how amazing the universe is. And interestingly enough, our beloved Paul Persuti came up with this great poster. Now, this is a smaller version of what we're going to have hanging up. And everyone who turns in their 2023 pledge card is going to be having the opportunity to put a star in our solar universe. Okay, so what you're going to see here is just a smaller version because the big printer decided to not print. So they printed us a smaller version of it. Dun, ta-da. So this was Paul's idea, and I love it. Add your pledge star to our prosperity galaxy. So as you pledge, we're going to have an opportunity for you to put your name up there and to step into the abundance of the universe in a big way. So thank you, Paul. I think we could just leave it there so we can look at it. Now, on that same topic, we will be sending out the 2023 pledge cards. Actually, they might be in your email as we speak, and we'll be doing a mailer as well. This is very important to our community, as you know, because it not only opens us up individually to greater abundance in our life, because we know as we give, we receive. It supports the spiritual community in just a myriad of ways to keep us thriving and running strong and being able to support and serve our community as we do. So just more of that, and budgeting is critical. So this pledge program comes at this time of year because it helps us to budget for our next upcoming year. So I'm thanking you all in advance, and you live streamers too, for considering, going within and considering what gift you have to give that is only a happy gift. No toiling over this. This has to be straight from your heart. It has to be the givingness of spirit showing up as you. So you'll have a little time this month to ponder what that is, and we do look forward to surrounding you in love and surrounding you in knowing that this life that we live is truly an abundant life. And we'll look forward to seeing lots of stars on our larger poster. You know, we speak about the universe, the infinite abundance of the universe, the flow and the expression and the beingness of the universe. It's incredible that we have so much energetic around us all the time that we can't see it. We don't even really think about it most of the time. But the energy of the universe is always with us. And we are going to be working on our abundance pledge program this month. And what is supporting this program for us too is we have The Wisdom of Money by Brandy, which is our book of the month, which is a great book. Not only a book that's very insightful, but there are a lot of opportunities, little workbook pages, so you can do some self-work on maybe some of your money challenges. And so I encourage you, it's in our bookstore, okay, and this will be our book of the month, The Wisdom of Money, Brandy. It's a good one. So with that being said, there's another really magnificent thing happening here. I just completed a 5-week course with Reverend Cheryl McQuarrie. It's called Manifest More Money. It's a 5-week course that just completed, but she's offering it again to our community at the end of October. You'll be seeing some advertisements for that, and I really suggest it. Was fabulous. She's got such great energy and insight, and I really highly recommend it. And it was at perfect timing as well for our talk today and for just stepping into that flow. So we know that treatment, our spiritual mind treatment, helps us with contemplating our finances. Our spiritual mind treatment helps us with every aspect of our life, everything that we experience, everything that we feel we need to open up to in a greater, grander way. Our spiritual mind treatment is such a powerful tool because we recognize that God is. Yes, in our first step, God is. There's nothing outside. There is only God. And that we are one with this power and presence. I am, we are, each one. And in keeping with our theme this month, taking a direct look at money, because there can be some charge around money, especially in a church experience or environment. So we're going to clarify and open up to money and flow today. And you know, the threefold creative process of the flow of good, which you're looking at right behind me in our stained glass window, that creative process that is, there's all God, the circumference, the center, everything is all God. And we've been talking about this in our class that Reverend Catherine and I are facilitating, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And just the importance of recognizing and knowing the power in this creative process. So it moves through us as we move through it, planting our seed into the fertile soil of life so that we can see greater good, greater experiences in our life, which also ties right into our spiritual mind treatment. So God is, I am one with God. There's that affirmation step where we really affirm our heart's desires. We give thanks because gratitude, and Thanksgiving's coming up next month, one of my favorite holidays, and giving thanks because gratitude is a very, very spiritual important spiritual practice for each of us. And then releasing and letting go, releasing into that law that always says yes to our heart's desires, letting it go and letting it flow. So that's part of why I think our opportunity to stare at this beautiful window every Sunday is so powerful to remind us of the creative process and that it's always active and working in our life experience. So, in keeping with this theme, we look at the nature of money. Then we look at our individual and collective beliefs about it. We want to dispel any clouds because it can be, a little complicated for some. But I want to say that we need to absolutely look at where we are in our finances. And if we're having any struggles, if there's any thought of lack or limitation, there's always an opportunity to shift that experience with spiritual mind treatment, with a really powerful affirmation, knowing that this is an abundant universe and God wants me to live my life more abundantly. These are some of the practices and the ways that we can call forth greater abundance in our lives and maybe release any stress or tension over finances or money. Because we know that our finances can bring us immense joy and immense struggle sometimes. And I'm sure we've all had our struggles at one time or another. So I want us to begin with an awareness of the infinite source of flow that's everywhere flowing, everywhere present. And this flow is within us, it is through us, it is as us, it is personal, it is individualized, and it does reside within each and every one of us. I know that as we work with our prosperity galaxy, we're going to be able to open up and tune into more flow in our lives as we pay very close attention to how it's showing up, what it feels like. Think about just one thing. Take a moment to think about one thing that makes you feel like you're in the flow. One thing. It could be the fact that when I changed my purse this morning, I pulled out a purse that I don't use very often, and I thought, I'm going to use that. And I opened the little zipper part, and there was $150 in there. So I'm like, boy, I'm glad I decided to pull that one off the shelf. Of course, that's going in our tithing, or in our givingness today. But that was a true gift, And so I think as we pay attention to these little parts of how money show up in our life, it could be a penny on the ground, or it could be, just something that somebody has gifted you, and just show appreciation and gratitude. So I always go to thank you. Thank you. That was fun to see that and experience that, and to help our community with that. But Ernest Holmes says, and I love this, we must cleave to the good and trust absolutely in the law of God to bring about any desired end. Spirit will mold our purposes when we allow it to do so. It's up to us. As we learn to depend more and more upon the perfect law, we shall find that the outward things which are necessary to our good will be provided to us. The necessary things that are necessary for our good will be provided. So it might not be that mental picture that you have, but you can certainly count on it being this or something greater, because that's how Spirit operates. That's how Spirit functions, always for our highest good. Do you believe it? Yes. Okay. Well, hopefully, we begin with infinite source, and we look at the abundance of nature. There are a lot of places where we can tune into the abundance of life, and it requires us to be fully present, however. So there is, and I want to say this because sometimes people don't think so, but money really is God in action. There is a sacredness about money. There is a way that we should respect and treat our money because it's really God in action. It's the flow of life. So we're going to take a moment right now. This is an amazing video that I want to share with you. What it is it's a computer simulation of the solar system, okay, rotating through the galaxy. So we're not going to, it's 5 minutes, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but I want to give you a flavor of this and how interesting it relates and will remind us of how abundant the universe is. And it always coincides too, also coincides with our prosperity poster. And that wasn't planned. Okay. experience in the solar system and the energy swirls as a vortex and moves through the void of every level of experience. So a little bit of scientific thought about the universe and how vast it is, and how we here on earth are a part of all that vastness. So I think when we expand our idea of how big is, this is what we're talking about with money as well. Think about how big this universe is. So think about how big is. It's different for each of us, isn't it? I mean, big could be $100 to one person, or it could be $1 million to someone else. My suggestion is that when we're setting our intention, that we think big. Now, we don't want to think so big that it's totally out of alignment, but we want to think bigger. We want to think bigger than big. Can you do that? Okay, when you're contemplating where you are, because big will meet you where you are, right? Big will meet you where you are. So if it's small, big will meet you small. If it's large, big will meet you. If it's extra large, big will meet you there. Yes? So we can contemplate lack and limitation, or abundance and flow. It's up to us. And, you know, I certainly choose abundance and flow. I would imagine everyone here probably chooses a little more abundance and just that flow of energy, because it is energy. So let's practice being open and curious about the infinite presence of the divine. Let's practice about being open and curious about the divine substance, because you can see just in that video alone, it's so enormous. It's hard to humanly wrap our minds around that. So the infinite supply of ideals expresses as ideas. If that's the true wealth and abundance of spirit, the expression of ideas, the contemplation, the work that we do, these ideas are potential energies. And they're available to everyone, everywhere, always. Spirit has no limitation nor any concept at all of lack or restriction. It doesn't exist. It is impersonal. Spirit is. So it's up to us to choose to be in the flow. People have created ideas about God, as we know. We know that there's ideas of rules, there's ideas of restricted love, of desire for suffering and yearning and living in lack, believing this to be more pleasing to God, the small God, small g, of their creation. But that is simply not the truth, and especially in our religious science teaching. God wants us to live our lives more abundantly, always. It may show up as money, it may show up as love, it may show up as friendship, it can show up in a variety of ways. But it's up to us to pay attention and really look and listen and feel, get that feeling tone of where we are at any given time in our experience with the divine. So here in our teaching, all of those things that I just mentioned, none of them make sense about an infinite presence, a oneness undivided against itself, expressing as freedom. So to have a healthy relationship with wealth, we must have a healthy relationship with spirit, seeking its kingdom first. We find that kingdom within ourselves. Seek ye first the kingdom. So if we find rejection and misunderstanding of that kingdom within ourselves, we want to step out of that misunderstanding and bring the kingdom of goodness into our life experience. It's all within us, the large and the small of it. It's all part of us, part of our learning, stepping stones to greater good. Wealth simply means abundant supply, okay? So if we're going to allow the infinite abundance, the wealth of the universe, to freely express through us, we must have a healthy relationship with an understanding of this aspect and nature of the divine. So, as I said, wealth simply means abundant supply. Can we, I ask all of us, can we conceive of an infinite oneness that wants itself in its creation to live in poverty, restriction, or lack? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The infinite is unlimited and expressing freely. The medium for the expression of ideas is what has often been called substance. This invisible yet real energy that underlies everything. Science tells us that space is not empty, correct? And rather it is filled with energy, as we just saw from the video, both potential and particulate form, as we saw. So Charles Fillmore, I love what he says when he relates the experience of this energy seemingly to fall like golden snowflakes all around him. Whatever ideas or image we may relate to, we know that we are immersed in the substance of infinite, vast energy, infinite abundance. It is ours. The infinite wealth is within us. It's right where we are each step of the way. So if we don't believe it, then that's where our prayer comes into place. That's where our work starts, is to cultivate that energy and that experience of wealth. You know, Plotinus reminds us from the ancient mystical philosopher Plotinus. How do you say his name? Plotinus, okay. He reminds us, I do not argue, I contemplate. And as I contemplate, I let fall the seeds of thought into the mirror of mind, which then becomes the mirror of matter. That's our creative process, the seed, the soil, the plant. So as we contemplate the infinite nature of the one, that contemplation aligns us with the nature of the one. It lifts us out of our conditioned beliefs in lack and limitation and struggle into the truth of flow and ease and grace and plenty. Sounds good. Flow, ease, grace, and plenty. Let's just breathe that in. This is not arguing or fighting with ourselves or the world. This is simply turning our attention to contemplation of the highest truth that we can know. The highest truth that we can know is what we are contemplating this day. And that contemplation itself is creative. Before I conclude, I wanted to share just a little quick story here. Let's see if I brought my little piece about this. Well, I didn't, but for some reason, I have been manifesting a lot lately. I've told you some stories along the way, but my latest manifestation is an abundance of raccoons showing up on my property. So abundance comes in all forms. Now, it's a whole nother story on how to lovingly let them know that they should go somewhere else, and that's what I've been working on all week. So I've been a little sleep deprived because I've been worried about these critters. I think one of them came in the house because I noticed the cat food was eaten more than I've ever seen it eaten. So it is interesting. And so somebody said to me, well, you should look up raccoons and find out what that spiritual essence is of them. And I did look it up, and I thought I had it here, but they are very spiritual critters. You know, they're very, let's see, I guess I'm not as prepared as I thought for that, but they're very, very spiritual, and they're very inquisitive, as we know, and they're very cute, but we have to watch ourselves with them. So I think pay attention to how abundance is showing up in your life for sure. So as we clear our old ideas of the divine and recognize it as truly infinite, as we saw in the video, beyond our comprehension, yet expressing as us, so it's individualized as us. We naturally let go of old ideas and beliefs which have kept us restricted in our expression of the one, because that one is in each and every one of us. We are one with it. Our first step of treatment. Our second step of treatment, recognizing our oneness with the first step of treatment, which is the one. As we recognize the vastness of spirit and its extravagant expression of life, and we recognize our oneness with its nature, we stop seeing lack and limitation as the path of good spiritual people. Charles Fillmore declared that it is a sin to be poor. Sin means missing the mark, and I rarely use the term sin, but it does mean missing the mark. And I think what he's saying is that because we have free will and expression, and because this is an abundant universe, we can live our lives more abundantly. It's totally up to us. There's lots of courses and activities and things that we can do to cultivate this abundance consciousness. And we'll be doing that during our pledge time too. So when we hit the mark, a bullseye, of the true nature of the infinite, we no longer believe in old ways and old fears or divine disapproval, right? We step into the freeing awareness of the infinite presence of thriving, extravagant joy, that full expression. And we are that full expression, each one of us, individually and as a collective. And as a collective, we're very powerful. So this week, contemplate the opulence, the extravagance of the divine, and your oneness with that presence. That's your work this week. Also, please take with you the handout in the foyer to remind you of the drop in the ocean. There's another powerful, powerful handout out there for you that I prepared. It's Treatment for Supply by Ernest Holmes, and it's a very powerful treatment, and I would suggest you read it every day, especially now that we're moving into this time of year where we're bringing forth more opulence and abundance into our experience as a center and into our experience personally and individually. So we have a slide, real briefly. It's there you go. Which one do we have up there? Okay. So Ernest Holmes says, the mind which is universal will never be any less than universal. It will never be individualized, but it will be it will never be individual, but it will be individualized. And then the other reading that's with this is, if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. Psalms 13, 139, 9, 10. So you have a copy of this for your taking. And there's a beautiful writing from 2002 Science of Mind magazine of waves, drops in the ocean. So I hope you'll enjoy it in the foyer on the way out. My humor today is very minimal, but I think it's interesting that the tip jar at the coffee shop said, "Afraid of change? Leave it here." So thank you all. So let us, well, thank you for being here and hearing the different aspects of our experience as religious scientists and how vast and big and grand life is for us. So blessing you all, and we're going to settle into prayer now, okay? So let us just take a deep breath, just resting in the moment, just knowing that there is only one of us here. one divine power and presence, all-knowing and wise, boundless and infinite, everywhere present. It is powerful, it is almighty, it is all that there is. It is supreme and absolute, and we can always count on it. Mother, Father, God. And I claim and accept and know our oneness with this divine power and presence. We are imbued with all the magnificent qualities of the one, the abundance, the love, the light, the joy, the peace, and the harmony of all of life. It is for us for the taking as we open and become more receptive to the greater good of life. And just knowing for this month, October, our nonprofit partner, the East Bay SPCA, is committed to the welfare of cats and dogs in the communities we serve. We strive to eliminate animal cruelty, neglect, and overpopulation of providing programs and education that support people and companion animals. And for our planet Mother Earth, continuing to have gratitude for her and knowing that her beauty and resilience is ever present, and that we become even more mindful of stewarding her, taking care of her, blessing her. And we bless the youth and the youth of the world, knowing they are guided by the loving mind and heart of Spirit. And blessing those in service, creating a world that works for everyone. And for all the beloved prayers in the prayer box that Karen Peterson, a practitioner emeritus, is holding and uplifting. I know that our Ministry of Prayer team take these prayers and bless them and pray over them and support our community. It is such a gift to have prayer in this way. And I'm knowing love and comfort, peace of mind and healing for anyone who has been impacted in any way by challenges. For those in our prayer box, for the names that I'm about to mention, let us hold these beloveds. Zachariah Shashi, Christine Anderson, Gail Floyd, Shalolyn Johnson, Tyler, Reverend Akia Param, Julie Marie, for Tito and Bonnie Gonzalez, and for Anthony Prado's brother, Paul. We're just knowing that the love and the embrace of Spirit is surrounding each and every one, that the healing energy and whatever is being called for is supporting each and every individual, that they are right where they need to be, and that all unfolds to perfection in their experience. And let us continue to hold the world in prayer, knowing peace is possible everywhere in the world. That peace is possible. Whether we're talking about Ukraine, Haiti, wherever in the world, we know that we surround these countries with our thoughts of peace, of unity, of oneness. And for anyone who is experiencing transition, for Barbara Roberts, sister-in-law of Judith Roberts, and for Reginald Darlington Wilson Jr., the cousin of Linda Wyman. We're knowing that as they make their way into the next expression and experience of their life, that Spirit is guiding it all, that they're being supported, that they are right in the divine flow of love and peace. And we're knowing peace and comfort for their families. And if there's anyone on your heart this day that's in need of a prayer, please call them forth right here and right now. Speak their names into the ethers of the sacred sanctuary. And as the names continue to be spoken, we know that that divine grace and goodness of the One is supporting all of our needs. They're all being met. And it's with great, great gratitude that I release these words into that universal law of love and life that always takes care of us, always takes care of our heart's desires, always says yes. So please join me now in saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you so much, Kev. And it is our conscious giving time. So you may be an auto giver, or you may be having a sacred experience as you place your contribution into our basket, or we have lots of ways to give, which we will talk about in a moment. In the meantime, we have a giving affirmation that let's all share with gusto. God is lavish, unfailing abundance. I am lavish, unfailing abundance. I give with joy and receive with joy, and so it is. Well, I edited it a little, but that's okay. So thank you for your gifts. On our website, you can find other ways to give. For our live streamers, thank you for your gifts. And I wanted to recognize the Livingston children who are just such beautiful beings of light growing up in this teaching, and for honoring our beloved Barbara. They also donated a television to our nursery, so they're doing good abundance work in the world. So I'm blessing them and thanking each and every one of you this day. Don't forget to take your take ones. And I think that's it. I think we're ready for some amazing music once again. Kev and Omega, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
I am in the darkness. I am in the light. See me if you can. Everywhere I am, I am dwelling in the sunshine, dwelling in the shadows, dwelling in believers and in folks who don't know. Ay, 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 I am all appearing. I am all invisible. I am in the highest. I am in the very low. Tell you I am all appearing. I am all visible. I am in the highest. I am in the very low. Ay, 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 Glory God appearing, glory God invisible, glory in the highest, glory, glory God below, glory God appearing, glory God invisible, glory in the highest, glory, glory God below. Ay, 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 Thank you.
Omega Ray, two of my favorite musicians here. And thank you, Reverend Jerry. I get really excited about this talk. I'm just thinking of all these things, but I'm just going to say two things about it. It is a spiritual practice, and also it appeals to the scientist in me. Like, okay, let me just up it a little bit and just see what happens. Just see what happens. Okay, you can talk to me more afterwards in the prayer room. If you want to do that afterwards, the practitioners are available to pray with you after the service. And let's see, I have to thank some other people. Thank you to Sydney and Sanford for honoring Barbara, and thank you to our musicians and our speaker and our amazing tech people that connect us out to the world, and our ushers. Oh, everybody that has participated in this service. Let's see. Oh, I have to remind you all to exit the doors after the service. And now we can get ready for our affirmation, which should be coming up on the screen here. I am always swimming in an ocean of infinite abundance, and so it is. Thank you.
If you would like to stand, please do. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Sunday. Go in peace.